Project Bauer, or in our eyes, Pokémon Movie 24. This was said to be the new Pokémon movie that was going to be completely different from the usual. New characters, an emotional plot, intense Pokemon battles, and most interestingly, no Ash Ketchum. But why did this movie never come to life? And most importantly, will we ever get to see it come to the big screens in the future? Before we get into the plot, it's worth explaining how we even know about this movie in the first place, because it wasn't a leaked trailer or a marketing slip-up, it actually came out of something much bigger. In 2024, Game Freak got hit with a massive data breach, about a terabyte of internet files now known as the Terra Leak. It wasn't just this movie, it exposed early builds of upcoming games, cut content from Pokémon Legends ZA, and details about projects planned all the way out to 2030. The Pokemon Company actually sent down takedown requests, trying to stop it from spreading, which if anything, just told us fans that these leaks were the real deal. And buried in that mountain of data was a folder for an unreleased 24th Pokemon movie, including a full production overview. This was the 24th domestically produced Pokemon film, and it had real weight behind it. Directed by Kubon Shinzuno, the guy known for the Detective Conan movies. It was targeting a summer 2023 release, rated for all ages, roughly PG equivalent.
Master 12 unique champions, each with their own strengths and abilities. Each rank match and tournament rewards smart tactical decisions. Invite your friends to compete and wishlist Infinity Hex Dome Tactics on Steam right now.
This wasn't just another Pokemon movie. The project had a specific mission attached to it. The creatives behind them wanted to appeal to the adult audiences, especially women, which is a notably different target than the usual Pokemon movie crowd. They wanted to build characters in a world people could connect with emotionally, even if they've never touched a Pokemon game in their life. They also wanted to make something feel like a genuine cinematic experience, not just for children. And they also wanted to pull lapsed fans back into the franchise, people who grew up with Pokemon have also drifted away. In short, Pokemon was just trying to grow up a little bit. So what was the movie supposed to be about? Bauer was set in the Kanto region, and only the original 151 Pokemon were going to appear. No Mega Evolutions, no newer generations, just a clean throwback to where it all started. Most of the film plays out in Shinkone City, an anime exclusive area, said to be a modern metropolis built in Kanto for the story specifically. Our main protagonist is Light, a 15-year-old boy who works at a Pokemon daycare center. Initially skeptical about trainers and what it even means to be one, among the Pokemon in his care is a chubby Pikachu, later on to be revealed to be a Mew in disguise. There are also a bunch of supporting characters. We have Akari, who is a young trainer and the sister of Gigi. Gigi, a trainer who disappeared years ago after an encounter with Mew. Shin, a powerful trainer consumed by the childhood promise he's determined to fulfill. And Gil, a friend of Gigi and Shin, imprisoned after an incident involving Mew. The plot threads through promises, friendship, and what it actually means to be a Pokemon trainer, with Light's search for the truth behind the chubby Pikachu, and by extension Mew, pulling all of these characters' histories together. The leak also references a Pokemon called Aperon, and I'm not entirely sure if this is meant to be a new Generation 10 Pokemon, or a codename for something else, but apparently it was meant to be in this project. And here's the bit that would have been huge for longtime fans. Ash Ketchum isn't in this movie at all. Like, imagine how I'm supposed to feel about this, bro. Light and Akari are entirely the new leads. For a franchise that has built 23 films that follow around Ash Ketchum's journey, and also some from an alternative universe, that's not even a small tweak, that's a whole formula change in itself. Every Pokemon movie up to this point has leaned on Ash as the anchor, no matter how wild the plot got around him. Bauer would have been the first Pokemon movie in this series that wasn't about Ash Ketchum. The script didn't stay still though, and it also went through multiple revisions, and the leak actually spells out what the production teams were wrestling with. They had to balance darker themes against the typically optimistic Pokemon tone, while keeping Mew's behaviour believable for a trainer of its legendary status. On top of that, they were trying to build character arcs that could actually land with an older audience, without letting the Pokemon battles and training get overshadowed by the human drama, or even the other way around. There were also concerns over how the film handled social media negatively and suicidal themes in earlier drafts, which needed addressing directly. As for the character side, Light's development specifically wasn't landing and needed strengthening. Light and Akari weren't distant enough from each other, and the team was still working to keep everyone's emotional arc consistent throughout the whole runtime. That is a lot of unresolved notes for a movie that was supposedly a year out from release. It paints a picture for the script very much in flux, ambitious, but struggling to hold itself together. So why did the movie never come out? Honestly, nobody's confirmed it. I haven't been able to find any concrete evidence as to why, but there is some speculation behind it. The release date itself wasn't even locked in. Earlier plans bounced between winter 2023 and summer 2024, and it's not clear if production continued much past that point. The most common fan theory ties to the pandemic. Movie production across the franchise slowed way down during COVID, and Bauer may have been also a casualty of that. Others think that the leak itself is part of the story. Once the plot was already already out in the wild before any official reveal, there wasn't much reason left to finish it, and by the time we've gotten back on track, Pokémon Horizons has already taken over the anime's new direction, which may have made a standalone Kanto reboot movie feel redundant, given how many open notes the script still had, Light's arc not landing, the suicidal theme concerns, 2 leads that weren't distinct enough. It's just as likely that this was a project that simply never got to a version the studio was intending. What gets me about this project is that it was so close yet so far. Reading all of this information really got me excited, and it's such a shame we never got to see it on the big screen. I don't know if this Pokemon movie's ever gonna come out, and whilst I am very keen to see a new Pokemon movie release, I still do hope that maybe one day the writers can revisit this project and hopefully bring it to the big screen. It's been a very long time since we've had a new Pokemon movie, and I've got no idea when the next one is gonna come out, but maybe Project Bauer could be the next Pokemon movie that will shock everyone again.